In Minnesota State High School League football, there are some teams that display their dominance winning multiple Prep Bowl championships, some teams that try to succeed while in losing seasons, and some teams that experience ebbs and flows in almost any given year. During the first half of the 2010 through 2019 decade, the Sauk Rapids Storm football team ran into some problems trying to win games after the magical 2010 season of making it to the state tournament.
Our talent level wasn't the same as our 2010, but the work ethic of our kids was phenomenal and all that. But we started to struggle a little bit with what we were doing offensively and defensively a little. That was when we started to see a little bit of a decline, and then it just followed that path there for a few years where we struggled moving the ball, stopping people. It wasn't because our kids weren't working hard, it wasn't because the coaches weren't working hard. Our talent level wasn't the same as the teams we were going against.
Despite the struggles that occurred during the first half of the decade, the Storm football team still took a lot of pride in what they could do while giving some perennial opponents a hard, full 48-minute game. There were occasional surprises too, such as upsetting ROCORI at their 2012 homecoming. However, inconsistencies would still plague the Storm as they went 3-33 from 2011 through 2014. But after dealing with 4 consecutive losing seasons, there was a shift that occurred in 2015 that helped raise the bar for everyone in the program: team camps. The Storm's second ever team camp helped change some things when they snapped a 22-game losing streak against Princeton during the first week of the 2015 regular season. But then after losing 3 in a row, something interesting happened that rekindled the success that also helped transpire the rest of the season.
The game that probably solidified that we were for real is when we played St. Cloud Tech at Huskies Stadium, and we beat a very, very good Tech team with Division I players on it. That's when our kids went, you know what, we can do this. And it was a great game, a lot of great moments, a big interception return by Dante Keller to Luke Gravager falling on it in the end zone for a touchdown, the halfback pass from Drew Anderson to Matt Johnson right before the half. Just a lot of big plays, and I think that was the defining moment of that team and that season, saying, you know, we can compete with the very good teams. And lo and behold, we ended up finishing 500 that year because of that game and some other games.
After the wonderful 2015 regular season, the entire Storm community was dealt a setback when coaches Magnuson and Spitzka ironically accepted new positions up in Pequot Lakes. But a silver lining was on the way when the Storm hired a very motivated and determined individual who quarterbacked St. Cloud State as a Division II All-American a few years ago. And while the Storm community was looking forward to the new transition, the 2016 season was all about working out the kinks for the new head coach.
Starting the year off with a big win was very positive, and I think we made some serious progress early, but we also struggled. And some of that too was me coming in and having a very different philosophy, a different way about going about it in terms of schematics and getting kids used to what I like to do offensively. And it took us some time to get to where we really wanted to be. And honestly, it took us a whole other year to get us to where we needed to be.
The Storm football team would start off 2017 in nearly the exact same fashion as they did in 2016, but on homecoming week around mid-season, an amazing thing happened when they defeated a particular opponent for the first time in school history.
A major mental hurdle for our kids was a Brainerd game this year. I know that our team proved to themselves that they could match up physically with one of the toughest teams in the state. At the end of the year, as you look back on that game, you see that Brainerd's a team who's playing in the state tournament and has got a chance to play for state championships. And for our defense to hold them to no points in that game, for our offense to not be super successful, but to do a good job of maintaining some big drives at the end of the game and not turning the ball over when it was critical, I think it just showed them like, hey, even if we don't play perfect, we've got enough ability here to beat very good teams.
Success was everywhere when the team accomplished some 2017 milestones for the first time in 5 or more years, including finishing over .500, defeating border rival Sartell, and winning a playoff game. Looking ahead to 2018, a Storm morning is on the way to challenge NCD Red opponents for a division title, while establishing a deeper playoff run and possibly the chance of playing the defending Class 5A Prep Bowl champs.
If you watch Owatonna play for a state championship and to see some of the kids running around on that field, very, very highly talented kids that very few teams have. It still takes a large number of kids who have made a commitment to being bigger, stronger, faster, but also understand that it's important to be very, very intelligent, to have a high football IQ, and to be really focused on doing the right things in the classroom, as a student, in my social life. It just takes the whole thing. Nobody wins state championships that don't have all those things.